Hey there! Welcome back to day 2 of the 21-day Coder Woman Challenge. In this video, we're unlocking a big skill, designing websites that users love. By the end of this video, you will know what makes people stay on a website and what makes them leave within seconds. This skill will make a real difference in your coding journey and even in your future career. So let's jump right into the 10 golden rules for creating great websites. Let's start with a quick question. Have you ever seen a beautiful website that was impossible to use? Or maybe an ugly one that was easy to navigate? Funny how that happens, right? Is there a magic formula for a good website? Now we will explain why it happens and how to design functional and attractive websites. Okay, our first rule: make it obvious. People don't want to feel lost when they visit a website. They prefer layouts that are clear and familiar. When a website feels confusing, users leave quickly. So, please keep it simple. Think of it this way. Remove any confusion for the user. If they have to search or guess where to click, they will leave. Making your layout obvious means users stay longer, and they will enjoy the experience more too. Let's keep it user-friendly and low on effort, because people don't like to think too hard when browsing the web. Design like you're making the website for a non-techie family member. Your goal is a layout anyone can navigate and understand within seconds, without thinking about it. Let's look at an example of an easy-to-navigate online store. Notice how the menu, search bar, and product categories are right where you'd expect. You don't have to search or guess. You just know where to find things. You've probably used websites like this before and felt comfortable. When a website follows a clear pattern, it just makes sense. This is what we want to achieve with our designs. Now check out this other store layout. I've hidden the name for privacy. Do you feel a little lost? There's no clear organization and the categories are hard to find. This is what happens when the design gets messy and confusing. Users get frustrated and leave. Let's go over another well-organized website example. Wikipedia. This is a site you've probably used before, and it's a great example of a clean, easy-to-navigate design. In a moment, you'll explore Wikipedia and spot some of the main elements that help users find information quickly. And here's the task for you. Pause the video now and try to find the main menu, search bar, logo, and content sections. All done? How did it go? You probably noticed that Wikipedia keeps its layout simple and consistent across all pages, making it easy to know where the things are. That's the power of a clear, structured design. Users know exactly where to find the tools and links they need without thinking twice. Remember, using familiar patterns in your designs helps users feel comfortable. Now let's test your eye for good design. Take a look at these two login forms. Which one seems easier to understand for you? Please give it a guess and pause here. If you choose the one on the right, you're correct. It gives clear instructions on what went wrong. This tiny design detail makes a big difference for users. Okay, let's move to rule number 2. Strong visual hierarchy. This is just a fancy way of saying make sure the important things stand out. Just take a look now and read the text you see on this slide. Did I guess your reading order? By using colors, spacing, and different text sizes, you guide the user's eye to the key parts of your page. Okay, let's move on to rule number 3. Reduce the noise. Think of your website like a billboard. You only have a few seconds to catch someone's attention. If your site is messy, it's easy for people to get overwhelmed and leave. Keep your design clean and simple. Make sure users can find what they're looking for right away. When in doubt, ask yourself, does this part really need to be here? Less is often more. And here's an example of a noisy website. It has way too many colors, fonts, and random elements. It's confusing because there's just too much happening. This is what we want to avoid. We need a balance so that each part of your website has a clear purpose. Now here's rule number 4. Don't talk too much. What does this mean? Simply put, no one wants to read through endless, meaningless text. Long paragraphs and repetitive words make a website feel boring, and visitors will quickly lose interest. Think about it. If you saw a page filled with text from top to bottom, would you really read it all? Probably not. Too much text can make a website feel messy, just like too many design elements can. But there are a few exceptions, like news websites that need a lot of content, right? But even they know the value of keeping things clear and to the point. Look at the website like Forbes. It's full of information, but the layout is simple and easy to read. They keep only the words that matter. Alright, let's move on to rule number 5. Guiding your visitors. Think of your website like guiding a friend around a new place. You want to make sure they know where they are, where they can go next, and how to get back if they get lost. To do this, you need a few key elements: global navigation, clear categories and subcategories, a logo that links back to the homepage, and for larger websites, a search bar and breadcrumbs, which are a type of link path. Let's look at each one. First, global navigation. This is like the main map of your website and often appears as a menu across the top of the page, the header. It helps users move around the website easily and find the main sections quickly. The header and footer at the top and bottom of the page act like guideposts. Think of them as signs that say, "Hey, I'm here whenever you need me." Visitors can always look to these areas to help them find important links. Next, categories and subcategories. These help organize the site's content, especially for larger websites with many pages. Think about a website like Amazon. It has categories like electronics, clothing, and home, and each category has smaller subcategories. Categories make browsing easier because users can quickly find what interests them. The goal is to keep it simple so anyone can easily navigate. Another important thing is the logo link. This is like an emergency exit. If users feel lost or aren't sure where they are, they can simply click the logo to get back to the homepage. It's a small feature, but it makes a big difference for users who want a quick way to start over. And then there's the search bar. A search bar can be very useful for websites with a lot of content, like blogs or stores. Some people go straight to the search bar as soon as they enter a site to find exactly what they need. But if you have a smaller site like a portfolio, you may not need one. Your menu should be enough. Finally, breadcrumbs. This navigation tool shows users exactly where they are on the website. It usually appears as a path of links with the current page at the end. For example, on Amazon, if you're looking at dresses, the breadcrumbs might look like this. Breadcrumbs help users understand where they are and how they got there, which is great for websites with many pages. All these elements make navigating your website easier and clearer, like signs on a map saying, "You are here." With these guiding tools, your visitors will always know where they are, where they can go, and how to find what they need. And the rule number 6, don't make users wait. Think about it. Nobody likes waiting for a site to load, whether it's a video, an app, or a web page. A slow website is frustrating and often causes people to give up and leave. So how fast should your website load? Ideally, within 2-3 seconds. Studies have found that anything slower than this can make users lose interest and may even stop them from completing a purchase. This is why having a fast-loading website is one of the top elements in creating a great user experience. Later in this challenge, you will learn how to check your website speed and a few simple tricks to make it load faster. Even small improvements in load time can help your website stand out and keep visitors on the page. But remember, making a website load quickly isn't always easy. But learning these basics will make you a stronger web developer. Next up, let's talk about designing for all screen sizes, big and small. When you're building a website, it's important to think about how it will look, not just on your computer, but on all types of devices. And here's the fact. Almost 60% of all website traffic now comes from people using mobile devices. That's a lot, right? This is why it's so important to make sure your website looks great on phones, tablets, and desktops. We call this responsive web design. It means your website can automatically adjust to look good on any screen size. Let me show you an example. This is a responsive website. When you resize the window, you will see that everything shifts and resizes smoothly. It's clear and easy to read, no matter the screen size. And now, here's a website that isn't responsive. When you make the window smaller, the content gets cut off and becomes hard to read. This is what we want to avoid. Don't worry though, in our portfolio project, you will learn some easy steps to make your websites responsive, so they look amazing on any device. And now, here's another important thing to remember. You are designing for your users, not just yourself. Think about who will be using your website and make sure the design fits their needs. For example, here's a website designed for kids. See how it has bright colors, big fonts, and simple layouts? It's easy and fun for kids to use. And now look at this website, which is designed for men. It uses darker colors and bold elements like green check marks to create a strong masculine look. The design feels bold and confident. And finally, here's a design for developers and startup founders. It has dark colors, gradients, and a modern high-tech feel. Each of these sites has a different style because they are designed with a specific audience in mind. So always remember to design with purpose and think about what your users will need when they visit your website. Let's move on to the next rule, consistency. All parts of your website should work together to create a unified look and feel. That means using the same colors, fonts, and layout style across all pages. In larger projects, teams often use a design system or style guide, a set of design rules that keeps everything balanced. For example, The Guardian has a design system with fonts, buttons, color, and more, so every team member knows exactly how to design new pages and features. Of course, you don't need a full design system for a smaller website, but remember to keep your fonts, colors, and elements consistent across each page. And here's our final rule: testing and improvements. Even the best websites need testing. As you design, test your website to see what works and what doesn't. Try to see it through fresh eyes. Ask yourself, does this make sense? Is it clear? Small improvements can make a big difference. And don't be afraid to ask for feedback. This isn't about getting everything perfect on the first try. It's about learning what works best. Testing your design and making small changes over time will help you grow as a developer and improve your projects. And that's it, the 10 golden rules. You've covered some of the most important principles for creating clear, engaging, and easy-to-use websites. Each day in this challenge, you will keep building on these skills, and by the end of the 21 days, you will have a strong foundation to create amazing websites on your own. In the next video, we dive into the 7-step web development process. This process will help you build a website from start to finish. You will know exactly how to apply the rules you've learned. So keep going, you are doing great. See you in the next video. Hello and welcome. In this video, we're going through the web development process. You will learn how to plan, build, and improve your project step by step. Following these steps will help you build your portfolio website the right way from day one. And remember, web development isn't just coding. There's a lot to do before and after you start writing code. So I've put together a simple framework for you. The 7-step web development process. Are you ready to get started? Let's focus on the first step, planning. Planning creates the foundation for the whole project. So don't skip it. It prepares you for success. Before you start building, take a moment to set your main goals. What's the purpose of the website? Who is your target audience? And what do you want visitors to do when they arrive? Make these goals clear and specific. And please keep it simple. Write down 1 or 2 main goals, like showing off your portfolio or connecting with clients. These goals will guide you through the rest of the steps. Next, make a sitemap sketch. This is just the basic outline of your website structure and how the pages will connect. You can sketch it on paper, it doesn't have to be perfect. After that, think about your content. Do you have text, images, or videos ready? Or will you need to create them? If it's your own project, check your computer for anything useful. If it's for someone else, ask if they have content ready for you. And lastly, let's pick your tech stack. This means deciding which languages and tools you will use to build the website. Advanced developers have tons of options, but as a beginner, it's best to keep it simple. We will use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for our portfolio project. This is our tech stack. Okay, to sum up, planning includes setting clear goals, sketching your sitemap, collecting content, and picking your tools. These basics will keep you organized and ready for another step. Now that we have a plan, we can move on to the next step, which is design. This is where we decide how the website will look and feel. First, think about typography or the fonts you will use. Choosing the right fonts helps your readers understand your content easily and sets the tone for your website, whether it's serious or fun. Next up is color. Colors can completely change the mood of the website. Do you want a warm and inviting look or something more cool and professional? Different colors create different emotions, so choose carefully. Then, think about how your website's components should look. Components are the building blocks of your website, like buttons, cards, and icons. You can use your chosen colors and fonts to design these elements. If you are feeling stuck, it's totally fine to look at other websites for inspiration. Copying ideas at this stage is okay. Just remember to make your design unique when you start coding. And don't worry if you are not a designer. Just having a general idea of how things should look will help you a lot when you start coding. Later, I will also share some apps and tools to make this step easier. And if you are designing a website for a company, be sure to follow their design system if they have one. So design is about picking fonts, choosing colors, and planning how different parts of your website will look. And it's okay if your sketches are not perfect. Keep them clear and simple so you are ready to code. And now it's time for the exciting part, coding. Here we are bringing our project to life. With a solid plan and design, you are ready to start writing the code for your website. And we will use HTML, CSS, and JavaScript to turn your ideas into a real code. This is also the step where you will code any features you need, like a contact form. Each project is unique, so its features will be different. You will learn new techniques as you work on them. Think of coding as taking the vision from your planning and design steps and building it in the browser. It's a great chance to learn, experiment, and have fun. And after that your site is coded, it's time for testing. Testing helps make sure everything works correctly, no matter who's using it. First, you will want to check that your website looks and works correctly in all popular browsers. Different browsers, like Chrome and Firefox, can display websites differently. Testing in multiple browsers helps you spot any issues before your website goes live. And here's some good news. You don't need to test for Internet Explorer. This old browser used to cause developers lots of problems, but luckily we don't have to worry about it anymore. Next, check how your website looks on different devices, like tablets and phones. Many people use mobile devices to browse the web, right? So that's why it's important to make sure your website looks good on all screen sizes. Finally, take a moment to review your code for any small errors. We can call it a self-code review, and it's a chance to catch any mistakes and improve the quality of your code. Even professional developers check their own code to keep it clean and error-free. Okay, so let's sum up. Testing includes checking that your website works well in different browsers, making sure it's responsive on mobile devices, and reviewing your code again for any mistakes. Now we are ready to go to another step, optimization. This is where we make your website the best it can be. You may want to skip this, thinking it's not that important, but it's really worth it if you want your project to be really good. First up, we will need to find areas to improve. This helps us focus on the things that make the biggest difference. Next, we need to make the website faster. A slow website can drive visitors away. But here are some easy techniques to improve the website's performance. Next, we have an accessibility. This just means making sure everyone can enjoy your website, including people with disabilities. We should test for any issues and then fix them, creating a welcoming experience for everyone. And finally, we will work on SEO, or search engine optimization. SEO helps people find your website on search engines like Google. And it's a big topic, so we will stick to the basics here, but you will learn enough to start seeing results. By focusing on performance, accessibility, and SEO, you are setting your website up for success. And by the end of this challenge, you will have the tools to make real changes in these areas. Okay, after that, it's time for the big moment, launching your website. First, you will need a domain name if you don't have one yet. This is your website's unique online address, and it should be easy to remember. Then we will upload your website to a hosting platform. This is what actually makes your website live online. There are free and paid hosting options, so you can pick one based on your budget and needs. Once it's up, congratulations! Your website is live and ready for the world to see. It's exciting to get your work out there, but remember, launching isn't the final step. Websites need regular updates to run well and keep visitors interested. So update your content often. If you have a blog, add new articles. If you have a portfolio, make sure it includes your latest work. And finally, analyze and improve. Tools like Google Analytics and Google Search Console help you improve your website by finding issues, such as broken links or outdated content. They are easy to set up and provide quick tips to keep your website running smoothly. So think of your website like a living project. It needs regular attention. This way, your visitors always have a great experience. So there you have it. That's the full web development process. As you can see, there's more to it than just coding. It's a complete journey with many pieces. Now that you know the steps, are you ready to start planning your portfolio project? Let's dive into the next phase together. Alright, so we've talked about planning a website in theory. Now it's time to put that knowledge into practice. In this video, we're going to design a portfolio website for a programmer. Let's call her Jane Doe. Jane is really excited to get her website up and running, but she doesn't have time to do it herself. She wants it to look professional, so clients and recruiters will take her seriously. So let's get started. We will start with working on planning and design. Jane has already sent us a few things to work with: the text for her website, a color palette she likes, and a font she's chosen. She also has some coding skills: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. By the end of this challenge, you will have skills just like hers. Okay, the first step is to download all the materials we need. If you didn't download them on day one, just go to the link below this video and save everything to your computer. Now let's start by figuring out who this website is for and what it's supposed to do. Jane is a programmer, so her target audience will be recruiters and potential clients. And her main goal? She wants to show her skills and projects to help her land a job. With the audience and goals set, it's time to organize the website content into sections. And Jane has already made this easier for us.
Whoa!
She's given us a PDF with the page content she wants, organized into sections. Let's make a quick list of these sections. You can write them down on paper, in a Word document, or wherever you like. I will use Canva documents, but it doesn't really matter where you save it. So, here are the sections we will include: Hero section, About Me, Projects, Tech Stack or Skills, and Contact. This is a great starting point. We will adjust things as we go. We also don't need a full sitemap since this is a simple one-page portfolio website. Sitemaps are usually more helpful for multi-page websites. Next, let's look at the content. This includes text, images, links, and anything else we will add to the website. And Jane is a great client. She's provided everything we need. We have images, icons, links, and even a PDF of her resume. Make sure you've downloaded everything to your computer. The last part of our planning is choosing the tech stack. That's just a fancy term for the tools and languages we will use. We will keep this project simple and stick with HTML, CSS and JavaScript. These are perfect for a portfolio project and they will help us bring Jane's ideas to life. Okay, let's quickly sum up our planning steps. Target audience defined. Check. Website goals set. Check. Sections organized. Check. Content ready. Check. Tech stack chosen. Check. Awesome, our planning phase is complete. Now that planning is done, let's jump into design. First, let's pick a font. We are going with Fira Code because it has a great tech feel, perfect for coding projects. Plus, it's free to download from Google Fonts. I will show you how to download it once we start the project. But for now, let's just note it down. Next, let's choose some colors. Colors can set the whole mood of a website. Choosing colors can make a big difference, so I like to use ready-made color palettes. I've already picked one that fits our project very well. Now let's think about how each section will look. And remember, you don't need to be a designer. Just choose styles you like and put them together in a way that feels right. Use our chosen font and color palette and look online for inspiration. For a simple prototype, I like using Canva. It's easy to work with and doesn't require any drawing skills. Even with a free account, you can make a prototype. Just create a whiteboard, add website elements you find online, and add text or arrows if you want. And here's a prototype I made earlier. I put elements from different sites, and on the right, I made a basic wireframe. A wireframe is just a simple outline that shows the layout of each section on the page. It's not perfect, but that's okay. This is just a simple draft. And if you prefer, you can use paper and pencil for this step. Whatever works best for you. Okay, let's review our design work. Typography chosen? Check. Colors picked? Check. Component styles planned? Check. Inspiration collected? Check. Prototype created? Check. No design system needed? Check. Alright, everything's ready. Now we can move on to the development phase. Let's start coding. Writing code is a lot like writing a book or an article. Technically, you could write it anywhere, even in a plain text app like Notepad. But if you want to be efficient and make things easier, it's best to use the right tools. Imagine you are writing a book. You'd probably use something like Microsoft Word, right? It lets you write faster and you can easily set up things like margins, fonts and colors to make your document neat and easy to read. And code works the same way. With the right tools, writing code becomes much simpler and faster. That's why developers use special apps called code editors. A code editor speeds up your work and makes reading and understanding your code easy. And there are many code editors out there. Some are free and some are paid. But for this challenge, we will use the most popular code editor today, Visual Studio Code, or just VS Code for short. It's free and has useful features that will make coding easier. Alright, let's get started by downloading VS Code. And here's how. Open your browser, go to Google and type VS Code. You will see the website address code.visualstudio.com. Click on it. Click the download button on the home page. If you run into any trouble or need more help, check out the Docs section on the website. It has step-by-step guides for all platforms. Now go ahead and install VS Code. Then come back to this video once you're ready to continue. Great! Now that you have VS Code installed, let's do some quick setup to make it comfortable to use. And don't worry, this part is really easy. First, let's hide the welcome page, since we won't need it every time we open VS Code. Next, let's choose a color theme. You can pick a dark theme, a light theme, or even high contrast options. It's up to you. I prefer dark themes because they are easier on my eyes when I code for a long time. Now we are going to install two important extensions. Extensions are like little add-ons that give VS Code extra features. They are super helpful for coding. The first of them is Prettier. It is a great tool for any web developer. It formats your code automatically, so everything looks clean and consistent. No need to worry about spacing or line breaks, it does it all for you. To install it, just search Prettier in the Extensions tab and click Install. Another one is a live server. It lets you launch your website directly from VS Code, which means you can see changes in real time as you code. It's super handy for web development. Just search for Live Server in the Extensions tab and click Install. Once you've installed both of these, you are all set with the extensions. And the last step is a little bit of settings customization to make things run even better. In VS Code, click the gear icon at the bottom left, go to Settings, and type Default Formatter in the search bar. Please set it to Prettier to make sure Prettier automatically formats your code. Next, type Format on Save in the search bar and turn this option on. This means that every time you save your code, Prettier will format it for you. And great job! You did it! Your code editor is fully set up and customized. Setting up new tools can feel a bit tricky at first, but you've taken a big step forward in your coding journey. You are doing great, and now you have the tools you need to start coding like a pro. Next up, let's dive into the browser, which will be a key tool for bringing your projects to life. But take a moment to celebrate. You're already making real progress. You've probably used a web browser to explore the internet before. But did you know it's also a very useful tool for web developers? There are many browsers out there, but for this challenge, I recommend using Google Chrome. Chrome has powerful tools that make web development easier, and it's my top choice for daily work. So if you don't already have it, go ahead and download Chrome now. Just pause the video, follow the installation steps, and come back when you're ready. I will be right here waiting for you. Great! Now that you have Chrome installed, let's dive in and explore some of its powerful features. First, open Chrome and type google.com in the address bar. You should see the Google search page. Now your screen might look a little different from mine, and that's totally okay. You might see different images, styles, or even a different language depending on your location. For example, I have a dark theme, but you might prefer a light one. But don't worry, none of these differences will affect what we are doing today. Alright, now look at the two buttons under the search bar. Right-click on one of them and select Inspect from the menu that appears. This opens Chrome Developer Tools, a very powerful tool for web developers. You will use it a lot, trust me. It lets you spot errors, experiment with changes, and also explore how websites are built. Now that we have DevTools open, let's talk about something cool. You can change how it appears on your screen to make it easier to work with. This can be super helpful depending on what you are doing and how much space you need. So look up to the top right corner of the DevTools panel and you will see 3 vertical dots. Go ahead and click on those. You will see a menu with something called Dock Site and 4 little icons. Each of these icons lets you choose a different view. First is the option to open DevTools in a separate window. This is great if you want a lot of space for both DevTools and your web page. It's perfect for working on larger screens or when you want to move DevTools to another monitor. Next, you can dock DevTools on the left side of your screen. This gives you a tall, narrow view, which is handy if you are scrolling through code or need more vertical space. Then, there's an option to dock DevTools at the bottom of your screen. This gives you a wide horizontal view, which can help check layout and design details. And finally, you can dock DevTools on the right side, which is actually the default setting. This setup gives you a balanced view of both DevTools and your web page side by side. Go ahead and try a few of these out. As you work, you might find that switching views makes things easier depending on the task. For example, when you are inspecting specific elements, a side view might be helpful. But docking DevTools at the bottom could be more comfortable if you are testing JavaScript in the console. Play around with it and see what feels best for you. And there's so much you can do with DevTools. For example, it can highlight which piece of code matches each element on the page. This is helpful when trying to figure out what's going on with your code. And let's try something fun. Do you see that I'm feeling lucky button? Its text is controlled by the code we see here. And you can change the text. Just double-click on it and type something different. And press Enter. See? The change shows up right on the page. Want to see another cool trick? You can even remove elements from a web page. Let's try removing the magnifying glass icon from the search bar. Instead of right-clicking on it, you can click on the arrow icon at the top of DevTools, then left-click on the magnifying glass. It helps you find it in the code. After that, right-click on the line and choose Delete Element. And there it goes, disappeared from the page. Pretty cool, right? But don't worry though, you didn't break Google. Any changes you make here are temporary. As soon as you refresh the page, everything goes back to normal. DevTools has so many features to help you as a developer. In the Styles tab, for example, you can see all the CSS properties for each element, things like height, width, and color. This will be super helpful when we start working with CSS. And then there's the Console tab. This one is great for writing and testing JavaScript code. The console is your go-to spot for debugging, meaning finding errors and fixing them. There are also other tabs like Network and Performance. We will explore this more as we work on our portfolio project. I want you to learn by doing, not just by watching, so we'll dive into these features as we build together. And great job! You are building an amazing set of tools as a developer. and the browser is now one of them. Up next, we will explore CodePen, a great platform for practicing and experimenting with code. When you are ready, just hit play on the next video and let's keep going. Hello! In this video, I will show you a great online tool called CodePen. We will use CodePen during this challenge to practice new skills, learn specific concepts, and work on side projects in addition to our main portfolio project. So what is CodePen? It's an online code editor that supports HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. As you write code, it shows you a live preview right on the same screen. And this is great for experimenting with web development ideas, sharing code with others, and even collaborating on projects. On CodePen, each project you create is called a pen. And you don't have to sign up for a CodePen account, but I highly recommend it. Having a free account offers a lot of helpful features. You can save your pens and organize them in your dashboard. This means you can come back later to review or update your work anytime, making it easy for long-term learning. You can fork or create a copy of other people's pens and customize them. And exploring and changing someone else's code is a great way to learn. You can also share your pens by sending a link or embedding them on a website. Embedding just means putting your code directly into a web page so others can see it. With an account, you can also join the CodePen community. You can like and comment on other people's pens, which is a great way to find new ideas and connect with other developers. And you can even join CodePen's challenges. These challenges let you practice new skills and build fun projects. To get started with CodePen, just follow these simple steps. Go to the CodePen website at codepen.io, click the Sign Up button in the top right corner to create a free account. And once you're signed up and logged in, go to the Create section in the top left corner, then click Pen from the menu. Now you will see a split screen setup with 3 panels for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and a preview panel to see your code in action. You can change how this looks by clicking the Change View button. I like having the code on the right side and the project preview on the left, but you can set it up however you like. As you work, remember to save your progress by clicking the Save button in the top right corner. You can also give your pen a title and description to help you remember what each project is about. Throughout this course, we will sometimes pause our main project work to jump into CodePen and focus on specific concepts or techniques. These side projects allow you to try new ideas and learn about web development concepts. And you can experiment without worrying about the main project. And I encourage you to use CodePen on your own too. Whenever you learn something new, try creating a pen to practice it. You can also browse the huge library of pens made by other users. It's an amazing resource for inspiration and learning. I hope CodePen becomes one of your favorite tools in this challenge. And congratulations! You've fully completed day 2. You are making amazing progress and every step brings you closer to building real projects. Tomorrow, we will dive into HTML and start creating together. See you in the next video.